Hello, and hopefully I've pressed the right button. And welcome to Mirillis Racing, and today we are in Assetto Corsa Competizione, looking at the cars in the Challenger DLC, which has dropped today. I could tell that because I bought it. £9.99 for 5 cars, which wasn't too bad. So what you get 5 cars. It's the BMW M2 CS Racing, as you can see there, the Ferrari 488 Challenger Evo, the Lamborghini Huracan ST Evo 2, the Porsche 992 GT3 Cup, and the only true GT3 car, which is not visible until you scroll up, the Audi R8 LMS Evo 2. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go from the bottom up. So we're going to start with the BMW. I'll put it in my traditional colours. And if we have a look in the showroom, if I do that, and I'll just turn the camera off for a second so I don't get my face in the way. It's quite a plain looking car because it's basically very much, it's a quick road car. It's definitely more that style than it is like genuine race car with loads of bullshit and fins and wings and finlets and winglets and other bullshit. So it's definitely a very plain sedan looking car, which is no surprise, but I think you'll be pleasantly surprised when you drive it how nice it is. So if I just remember to turn my camera back on so you can see my ugly mug again, we'll confirm that. Now I'm going to do my traditional round Silverstone. I've set it so that it's same sort of temperature for each session with no randomness in the weather. It should be about 20 degrees track, 20 degrees ambient and about 28 track, I think. So a warm UK summer's day, shall we say. Now what I'm going to do, I'll run the aggressive setup in each case and just change the tyre pressures a bit. So I'm going to put 1.5 in here and see if I can get my brain to work out what that is. 21.2, I think. Oh shit, too many. And that's going to be 22.6. Yeah, it's going to be 22.8. And it's going to be 21.6. That should get it roughly in the right ballpark after an out lap and a flying lap. So let's drive it. Now, I've not changed my internal views at all, so if you don't like what it looks like, you can change it. It's one of these with a ridiculously low first gear, so like the M6 GT4, I think it is. I don't know whether the second works on the pit limiter. I haven't actually bothered trying, but I suspect it will. First thing you notice is it's actually quite heavy steering. I haven't played at all with the FFB. I've left everything as stock. Like I said, the only thing I've done is tinkered with the tyre pressures. Traction control, 4 settings, ABS 2, brake balance, no additional maps. I can't actually remember if they said what spec this is, because apparently this comes potentially with 2 different engines or engine setups, so one's a bit more powerful than the other. This is probably the quicker of the two. Very reluctant to go down to second because, well, it's like going down to first in most other cars. Nice solid weighty steering to it. I was expecting to be a little bit more wishy-washy than this, due to the fact it's got relatively little downforce and relatively skinny slicks on it. Notice the tyres getting a bit toasty already. But it feels quite well balanced. The doesn't feel like it's going to kill you at the first opportunity, which is what you want in a sort of beginner's race car, if I can call it that. Some people might call that an insult, as like something like a Caterham Academy might be a beginner's car, but all in all, it feels pretty darn good actually. Tyres are still a bit under pressure, but considering they start off stone cold, let's see if I can actually keep it on the circuit. Getting there slowly, pressure wise. Probably didn't want to do that, but I'll stay in third round here. I think time wise, I haven't checked my sort of lap time I'm doing the GT4, but there seems to be about the same distance between this and the GT4 than there is between the GT4 and the GT3, so it's 8 to 10 seconds a lap slower, and don't leave your braking too late. Basically you use almost a 3-speed gearbox on here, third, fourth and fifth. It is actually a 7-speed box. Ooh, too much. Shouldn't have done that. Like I said, there's a temptation to go down a second, but you shouldn't do it, probably. Pardon there. I was trying to think how it compares with the R-Factor 2 version. I think this is actually easier to drive. Seems to be about on a par lap time wise. I did actually take the R-Factor 2 version out for a spin the other day around Silverstone just to pre-arm myself with a bit of knowledge.
Well done, mate. Personal fastest lap.
So yeah, about 2 minutes 20-ish under around here. Would have helped not trying to kill myself, but that actually is a really nice little car. Solid, it's controllable, as you can see from my slight cock up there, and predictable. It's not going to break any records for the fastest lap of anything on the planet, but all in all, it's very nice to drive. Now, I think, what should we do next? Well, like I said, we're going to start at the bottom and work our way up. So, starting at the bottom literally means the bottom of the list. And this is the 488. Oh, again, I'll put my own thing on. And have a quick look in the showroom. Again, I'll just turn my camera off for a moment whilst we do that. And see if I can press the right button. And there you go. Really aggressive looking front end on it. Lots of little winglets and dibbly bits and weird looking air intakes with aerofoils in them and all sorts. It's a nice enough looking car. I don't know how it compares with the 488 Evo GT3 car in terms of looks, but it is a pleasant enough looking car. So if we just confirm and that, and then we will start the session, and I'll take a slurp of my drink. I bit me lip the other day, bloody hated the arse. So aggressive. See if we can add 1.9 right. That's not like there. 21 point. Oops. 8. 22.7. 21.8. And 21.3. Like I said, that's literally all I'm doing to each one. So again, it does look like I'm quite close to the front of the car. Now, this obviously got simplified traction control and ABS, etc. compared with the full GT3 car. It's still got the two-stage traction control with TC1 and TC2. Now, the first thing I noticed when I had a go in this earlier was it does feel a bit understeery, as in a lot understeery. Seven-speed gearbox, which it actually uses. So I suspect 7th is quite low gear-wise. Seems to be taking an awful long time to get any heat in the tyre or pressure in the tyres on this. It's quite skittish. Feels like it wants to understeer, and then all of a sudden it will try and oversteer a bit on the power, and it's trying to rotate all the time. But then it pushes, and then it rotates, and then it pushes. It's like, make your mind up. And it's just one of those, is it going to do what I tell it to, cars, or is it just going to do whatever the fuck it likes? Might just need a little bit of getting used to, but it almost feels like sort of like something without traction control half the time, because it's trying to rotate. And then it'll suddenly goes from I'm trying to rotate to it grips up, and then it goes, oh, I'm going to push. So, oh, that wasn't good. Got a bit of a four-wheel drift. Tyres definitely not coming up to pressure particularly quick on this. Whether it needs a bit of tweaking, or whether it's just naturally out of colours, I don't know. Like I said, this is literally, I've done a couple of laps just to see whereabouts the tyre pressures might be. Oh, turn in. Grip up, turn in, turn in. You can feel that the front is just pushing, and then it'll just I know it's not up to pressure, possibly not up to temperature on the front, but even the BMW feels like rock solid and highly planted compared with this. So I don't know how much power this thing's got. Presumably, probably more power than the full spec GT3 car, because a lot of them have. Actually DTing a bit for GT3. But it definitely feels a bit reluctant to turn and get the nose in. Anyway, the temperature's more or less there on the front, a little bit low on the back maybe. We're going to do about 2.526, yeah.
Well done, mate. This has been your personal best.
Which is, should be quicker than a GT4 car. By a reasonable margin, I think. Just trying to remember what sort of time you do in a GT4 around here. Memory like a sieve. So that's the Ferrari. It's definitely a fairly skittish. You're going to have to take a bit of time to get your head around how to drive that really quickly, compared with some other cars. Lamborghini going a Huracan 2. For some reason decided to go straight to my saved thing. Again, I'll just turn off the camera and give you a quick view. Again, very, very aggressive looking car. Quite angular in its design. I do like the look of it. And the big air intake up the top here. Sort of go along snorting things in as it goes. But nice looking car. I like the lines of that. Like everything else, should be nice to drive. Now let's just press 3 again, and I'll press this, and then I'll just pause for a second because my little thing here is flashing to say on. Right, are we back? Yeah, I think we are. Yeah, keyboard just decided it was going to run out of batteries. It's sitting there flashing away going, charge me. That'll be £6.50 please. So yes, nice looking car. Wait, you're right, we've selected it. We're going to go to the session with it. So I'll have a quick swig of my drink, and then see if we can do some mental maths as we again, aggressive setup, and 23.2. 23.6. 23.4. Yeah, you can see my brain going there, what the fuck. 22. And again, we seem to be extremely close. I'd usually be a bit further up, so I feel very low in the car in this, for this particular view. So simpler TC than some, only the single channel, but it is 8 choices, so it's quite good. And what was it, 11 ABS choices. Quite a solid FFB. And unlike the Ferrari, it feels like you stick your foot down and the front end's still gripping, which is nice. And it doesn't feel like it's over rotating, it doesn't feel like it's doing anything stupid, it just goes where you point it. Obviously tyres aren't up to temperature and pressure yet, so yeah, a little bit of care required, but not too much. 6-speed gearbox, all 6 gears usable in fact, so was a little bit chilly, which is something the Lambo seems to do, is not warm its tyres up quite so much as some of the other cars. Here we go, see what we can do, other than make an idiot of myself. I'll take a little bit too much inside curve there. Much more precise, and definitely going where you point it compared to the Ferrari. Definitely inspires a lot more confidence to push, which is always nice. Might have been a little bit light on the brakes there. Oops, a little bit of understeer at high speed there. Either that or I'm just getting cocky because it feels so good. Who can tell? Now, will the good feeling reflect in a good lap time? This is the question. Yes. Definitely a lot quicker than the Ferrari and a lot easier to drive. It definitely feels much closer to a full-on GT3 car than the than a Cup car, so that's good. Now, last of the Cup cars, and the genuine Cup car, as it's called, a Cup car. Yep. Just trying to get my brain together. So, next up we have the 992 GT3 Cup. And again, we'll just get me a fuck off out of the picture, and we will show you the, if I press the right button here. Cool. Nice looking car, the Porsche. Always has been a nice looking car. I don't know that anybody could ever look at that and go, oh, that's an ugly car, because that's just a nice, it doesn't matter what they do, they seem to still keep that nice classic Porsche line to it. So, very nice. Does my bum look big in this? Oh, I don't know, does it? So, there you go. One Porsche. Get me ugly mug back. And off we go. Now, the thing you have to remember about this is it ain't got any traction control. It's got ABS, but no traction, so aggressive, again, we'll go 1.5, so that's, yeah, 23.1 on it. Oh, come on, brain. Whoop. And that's 23.9. And that's 23.3. And that's 22.6. So,
Green light. Go.
again, God blimey, we're close to everything, aren't we? Note the TC off down in the bottom left, which you can't see. Hang on, if I just do that. Oh shit. Of course that will actually not only turn my bloody mug off, that will actually turn that on, won't it? So, brain death. So, TC off. So if I do that again, right, hopefully I'm on. Yep, I'm on, and you can see that. So a little bit of a caution.
Stay clear of the curbs.
Whilst we get the tyres up to a little bit of temperature and pressure. First impression. Nice solid force feedback. It was nice and positive. Get off the grass, you twat. Bit of a caution whilst we're getting some temperature and pressure in the rear tyres. Got that typical Porsche bounce on the front a bit, but really good brakes. Despite lack of TC, it's got plenty of grip coming out of the slow corners. Once you've got some temperature in the tyres, got everything up to pressure it. And despite the ABS, you can still overdo it whilst braking and turning in. Because the weight's at the back somewhere. It's about 3 miles behind us somewhere. Nice, positive steering, feels good. Just have to be a little bit careful about how you throw it around. Whoop, hit the back end. That wasn't quite right. Probably not doing myself any favours jumping from car to car quite so quick. Even there, it doesn't feel like it's pushing a lot, which is pretty good. Certainly compared with the Ferrari. Got a much more positive front end in terms of not understeering, so which is for a Porsche, that's something you actually would expect more of from the Porsche than the Ferrari, really, I thought, but yeah. Who am I to give these opinions? So tempted to just stick your foot straight down like you've got traction control to keep everything under control. Let's see what the lap time's like.
Well done, mate. Your fastest lap so far.
Now that was quicker than the Ferrari, but not as quick as the Lambo, I think, wasn't it? Was it in between the two? Just about. I think I did a faster lap earlier. I did cut the maggots and beckets up rather a lot as I do occasionally. But that really is a nicely positive feeling car. Again, it's just a case of being a little bit careful due to the lack of traction control, and if it's wet, scary. Now, last and definitely not least is the R8 LMS Evo 2, which I'm going to leave in these colours because, well, it's Valentino Rossi. So if I just turn my face off and press that, and you can have a quick look. I can't remember what the main differences are between the Evo and the Evo 2. I think it's supposed to have more downforce on it, so I can't remember what the spec changes were. But I believe you can basically buy a kit to take an Evo to an Evo 2. Just so it's all bolt-on bits really. But again, nice looking. I think some of the way the wings hung has changed, so it's got this sort of right round the back more mount. I might be wrong on that. I sometimes am, you know. Right, let's get my face back on the picture and we'll confirm that and start that. And this, of course, is a true GT3 car, so. Right, this I'm only going to put 1 PSI on because it's got preheated tyres, so it might be a little bit high otherwise. So 26.6, 26. I'm going to say pretty bad. I got to put the aggressive on 26. 26.6, 26.5, and 26. I did use the aggressive on all the others, didn't I? I'm not being a complete plonker.
Green light. Go, go, go.
Internally, it looks, I believe, exactly the same as the original Evo, so no surprise there. I'm just trying to remember if the Evo 1 has got the 2-stage traction control. I believe it has, but I might be wrong. Now, one thing I will say, it's got surprisingly light steering compared with some of the other cars. Oops. Bit of curb. Like a little bit of sausage for me tea. Feels nicely balanced so far. Probably didn't want to go down a third for that. That's remarkably light FFB compared with the other cars for some reason. It does feel nice and positive. It's a little bit woolly on the brakes. Probably didn't want to go down first for that either. Right, let's see what it does. Don't expect a 1 minute 58 lap because you ain't going to get one. Let's just see if we can keep it legal. certainly felt better than I did in the last car around there, the Porsche, because I got it right. I got it righter, I should say. Get off the grass, you twat. Nice and positive feeling, not pushing the front end particularly. Not sure if first would have been a better choice there. Might be one of those in between the gear type corners. For me, that's not bad for a first flying lap. Everybody going, so slow. So, what do I think of them? The BMW is actually surprisingly nice to drive. It's not quick, but it is nice. It's nicely balanced. It's not going to kill you, hopefully. The Ferrari is skittish and tends to go, from the short time I've been in it, a bit understeery if you try and get on the power too early, and then it seems to try and rotate quite hard on the exits if you let the front end bite. So a tricky little car by comparison to drive. The Lambo is really nice. It's nicely balanced. It seems to do exactly what you want it to, goes where you want it to. Porsche also nicely balanced, surprisingly well balanced in fact. Only thing you got to watch out for is obviously no traction control, so on cold underinflated tyres or in the wet or tricky conditions it's going to be a bit of a bitch, but it's still pretty predictable, so it's a nice car to drive. And the Audi Evo 2 is, as you would hope with a GT3 car, it's reasonably easy to drive. It's reasonably easy to drive somewhere near its limits, although I'm nowhere near the limits there. And I think will be a nice addition to the game. So I don't know how it compares with the Evo 1 in terms of performance. You would hope the Evo 2 would be slightly quicker, but with the balance of performance, it's going to be little itsy bitsy bits between them. It's not going to be a huge difference. So your mileage may vary, as they say, but overall, for a tenner, 5 good, I think, good additions. They're all slightly different. They're all got their own little foibles, probably. With a bit more driving, I have no doubt that every server you find will be having one more or all of them available to drive over the next few weeks, until everybody goes, oh, I'm bored with that now, I'm waiting for the next DLC to drop. So overall, well worth your money, and get in here, buy it, keep Kudos producing more content. So that's it from me for this, and enjoy your racing and have fun. I'll see you soon. Goodbye.